and welcome to Kingdom of Kodiak, episode 26. I'm Kodiak. With me today, Sir Bex from the Burning Lands. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
So, let's get right into the bare necessities. Sorry, Sin. Where does the name Bex come from?
I was tasked by my knight as one of my first things was to read his persona history and then create my own. And so my actual name in Ambar was at first Raven, and then I added Bex just because there's so many Ravens. But doing research and going back to do my task, I took it as Raven. I can't pronounce it because it's in Scottish Gaelic. But it's actually says Raven Rebecca in Scottish Gaelic, kind of. And so that's where it came from.
Okay, fantastic. And how long would you say you've been playing Amtgard?
March of 2015. So
Bam, just like that.
5.5 years.
Cool. And how long have you been aware of Amtgard?
Off and on for years. I mean, it was always, hey, there's those people playing in the park again, driving by. But it wasn't until then that I stopped and checked it out with a friend, and my daughter loved it and wanted to keep going. So we kept going, and here I am.
Right. Have you always been a Burning Lands member?
Yes.
Okay.
Once I joined, I've been Burning Lands since the beginning.
Okay. I would like to welcome the Burning Lands viewers today. How you guys doing? I miss you all. But moving forward, what would you say is the award that you're most proud of receiving?
Probably Knight of the Flame. It's got to be the biggest one I've ever gotten. It was one I almost didn't take, but definitely the most important one.
Well, we got to talk about that. Why would you not take it?
Knighthood was never really anything I was aiming specifically towards. People kept saying, oh, you're this close. You have this many awards of this and this many awards of that. And I was just like, hey, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. This is just stuff I would be doing anyway.
Cool.
And so when it was offered to me, I talked to quite a few people about it and decided, yeah, I should.
Cool. Awesome. Knighthood, obviously, being that you are a knight, is going to be one of our main topics we talk about today. It's actually your largest topic for questions, just so you're aware.
Yes.
But moving on, continuing with the bare necessities here, what would you say is your favorite battle game?
It was a variation on a Ring the Bell. I played it in Thorn Mountain. And to be perfectly honest, that is the only battle game I've ever really played in.
Oh, okay. This is going to make a couple of these questions very interesting then. When playing in the only battle game you've ever played, what class did you play?
I think that day I was just a warrior because I have read through, I actually read through the entire rule book when I first started because that's just me. I'm a nerd. And I couldn't remember the differences when we went down for that battle game. And so I think I just got a warrior class for that one. Because it was, like I said, basically Ring the Bell with some changes.
So I kind of assumed that you weren't much of a battle gamer. That might be on me, but Kron did ask a question about who your favorite scout is and why is it your daughter?
Because she's actually pretty awesome. She's a 6th level scout. She fights pretty well. She's been in a ton more battle games and tournaments and things than I ever have. I mean, I have pictures of her fighting a hero, pictures of her fighting fire spitter in
Cool.
tournaments and just really going after it. And she enjoys it. She knows what she's doing with Scout. She has fun.
Awesome. That's that's great. There's a generational thing there. You got to appreciate that. I don't know if Kron was looking for him to be the scout you called out, but you know, it's okay, Kron. Eventually, you'll be someone's
I,
favorite scout.
there was actually I don't know if it was an end rain or a mid rain, I can't remember which, for Cloud's Edge that happened at City of Rocks. And I can't remember if they were on the same or opposite teams. So she was on one team and he was on the other, or they were both put together, I forget which, as both scouts. And I remember she was taking out a lot of people.
Good.
So that
That's
may be where
awesome.
Kron remembers it from.
Fantastic. So that's the bare necessities. Those are the questions we ask every week that never change unless you've been on the show more than once. Now, the three questions that our viewers have made uh, consistent for every week of Kingdom of Kodiak. Kron would like to ask about Sir Glenelf's toaster. Now, as a caveat, Sir Glenelf did say that he is also looking for a soda maker. So, does Sir Glenelf get a toaster and a soda maker?
I'm willing to share. I have both.
That's something that hasn't been offered to the Kingdom of Kodiak yet. Is the idea of, you know what, you could just borrow it for a little bit, but like I want it back.
You know, if we're at an event, if I know ahead of time, I might take it. We can share.
All right. I will definitely want pictures taken of Sir Glenelf sharing the soda maker. It sounds like the best option of all of them so far. Lady Stillhat would like to know, what are your thoughts on bears?
I'm not against bears. Certain bears are cuter than other bears.
Oh
I
yeah,
know a
for
koala bear
sure.
is a marsupial, but it's still a darn cute little thing.
Yeah, there's a
I
hierarchy
kind
with like
I kind
Kodiak
of
above
identify
everything
as a
else.
panda bear.
Okay, all right, there you go. Um, Beatrix would like to know, what or who is your favorite bear?
What? Winnie the Pooh is my favorite bear, if I'm really honest,
There you go.
because
There it
he's,
is.
you know, you gotta love Winnie the Pooh. He's got an answer for everything, a song that makes things better. He likes honey.
I gotta work on my songs apparently because just that close. All right. Back to Stillhet. She asks a lot of questions. It's very good of her. There's an issue in Dragonspine right now. We're trying to figure it out. Dragonspine is trying to get a mobile pool. What are your thoughts on a DS mobile pool?
I would totally go swimming if y'all had a pool.
Okay. The caveat question connected to it is, what if it was a jacuzzi and not a pool?
Depends on how many people were in it.
All right. There's going to be a number thing. And then finally, should bears be allowed in the pool?
I don't see why not. As long as I'm not there,
Okay.
they can jump in.
Fantastic. I finally get invited to the pool. Thank you. All right. So, like every episode of Kingdom of Kodiak, I break the questions down into categories. Your first category that we're going to talk about today is just Inner Kingdom.
Okay.
Morgan would like to know, what is your favorite Amp event? And then, of course, because it's Morgan, he prefaces it with, why is it GOTC?
GOTC was the first major event I attended. I haven't done too many. I've gone to Spring War a few times. I've been to Dark Shore. I've been to Maze, of course. But I haven't been to too many other major events. I started in 2015, 2016. I was the Hydrocrat under Dojo. And 17, 18, 19, I was co-crat. So it's definitely an event I know inside out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, I get there with Damon Abali, and it's like, "Where's Bex? I can. What do you need? What is it?" It's super awesome. It's always great to see you when we get there too. But so it is your favorite event, and it is also GOTC.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
fantastic. Okay, Tron would also like to ask about GOTC, but specifically this year. How do you feel about it being canceled?
We, as a group, the monarchy, the BOD, the autocrats, were really saddened that we had to cancel it. But
Mhm.
obviously, we have to put the safety of everybody first.
Absolutely.
Um, does it give us more time to plan for next year? Yes. So hopefully, whoever is in charge of it then, because it's not me, will really run with it and have a great event.
Fantastic. The little end of that question is: do you feel a little bit of relief that there was a break? Birding Lands gets a little bit of a break and gets to focus on making next year even better, bigger, whatever, what have you.
Yes, I think it's a great thing, especially with changing sites, with so many changes going on right now in the real world. I think taking a break was a great thing. We still had the online COM meeting. I was still involved with that and setting it up on the Burning Lands end for the ABOT and COM, as well as being a rep on it. So I had not a complete break, but definitely a lot less to do.
Uh, the longest COM meeting ever? Oof.
Apparently it's not. I think there was one or two meetings that have
Oh,
gone longer that I was not involved in, but yeah.
okay. Well, a game going since 1983, being the third longest is still a pretty big deal. That's fine. I'm not bitter. I had a lot of fun. Uh, Damon Abali, you might know her. She
I
wants to
do.
talk about a specific clan, and it's Squire Clan. And why was it the best?
Squire Clan was the best because almost all of those who were autocrats, co-crats, in charge of major things were squires. It was the GOTC that I ran with Annabelle E. And I got into that one, I think, in February before the actual event. And it was a lot of fun running it with her and Jabay and Nikolai being involved. And it was just a lot of fun.
Fantastic. She off to the side so you wouldn't see it. She wanted me to point out to ask you if you could tell us about making the signs glow at the bottom of the hill.
No, that is an awful, awful thing. We had a horrible sign, and all we had was glow in the dark spray paint. And it was awful. And we were trying to say, because at that point we had no signage. Like I said, I came in late, and so much of it was already done. And I was just like, we need what? Okay, we can do this. Let's figure this out. We've got stuff here. We can figure this out. But it was
Fantastic.
a truly awful sign. Truly.
Maybe that's why she didn't want to put it in the post and she just wanted me to ask. But
We have learned we have much better signage.
great. Sir Tristan would like to know how you balance your local work with the AI BOD work. And Cassio also kind of fits into the same question. What keeps you motivated doing all of that?
There's balance. um,
Okay.
I generally jump in with both feet. It's just who I am. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to try my hardest to do it as well as I can. So I know there have been times where really I had not a lot of balance in my life because I was working full time, going to school full time, single mom. I was the local PM. I was also the BOD president. I was the BLA-BOD rep to the XCOM, as well as the co-autocrat for Clan, all at the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So a lot of it tends to be balanced by making lists. I love spreadsheets. They make me happy, especially when I can have everything planned out
Mhm.
for what needs doing. But it's just kind of who I am to jump in and just do it.
Fantastic. It's a great answer considering that the next topic we're going to talk about is your knighthood and knighthood in
Okay.
general. You jumping
Okay.
uh, in 5 years, you were able to get knighted. Less than 5 years. I mean, you're still playing. Last GOTC was your knighting. Uh, Sir Tristan would like to know: is it a black or white phoenix?
Um, I'd like to think I'm paladin, but I'm really not. I work from behind the scenes. I nudge people where I need to. So definitely anti-paladin.
Oof. She's not very proud of it either. So, Dragonspite anti paladins, be aware that maybe bribing with ice cream would be the correct way to go about this. As is
I am not
tradition.
above being bribed, mainly because I'm a Corsair, so I can be bought.
There you go. Okay. Eliza Joy would like to know uh, what do you feel is the true meaning of being a knight?
I saw that question and I kept thinking about it. And to me, it's definitely more service. It's not just, ooh, you got knighthood, you won the game. That's no.
Mhm.
That just means, okay, you've reached this level. Now you need to work harder to give back, to do
Cool.
more for other people than for yourself. I mean, when you're doing things in the game, you're kind of like, okay, I want to do this. I want to play this. I want to work towards this goal. But now as a knight, it's more like I've reached this level. I need to help other people reach their goals.
Sure. Absolutely. And that actually leads into Kron's question. Has knighthood changed your outlook of the game?
Not really, I don't think. Um, and maybe it's because it is Night of the Flame and because it's for doing things, which is just kind of what I do.
Right.
Obviously, sword is never going to be in my wheelhouse. I I have fought in one tournament. I have fought in several ditch battles. I fought in one battle game. I came into it way too old and broken to really get into
Yeah.
fighting.
I
I don't.
I I feel
So
you. I get it. I get it.
yeah, you're still a lot younger than I am. So
Are you sure? Are you sure? And
I'm
we're gonna
47.
have this discussion on KOK.
We're
I'm
gonna.
36.
I'm 47. I'm
Okay, so
10
you're
years
10
older.
years older than me. Whatever. Pshaw.
Yeah,
Pshaw.
no, way too broken. Um,
Okay. Not a
so wait,
problem. Did it
to
change
lead
your outlook?
back to the question,
Right.
not really. It's all about giving back. Even Knight of the Sword is teaching other people,
Mhm.
um, helping them reach their goals. Whether it's someone who wants to learn a new weapon, learn a new style of fighting, learn how to do a certain move, it's still giving back.
Sure.
So, kind of know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Uh, Anyone that's watched these episodes knows that knighthood is one of my favorite topics to talk about, and that yeah, it's a permanent office, but I also believe that if it's a permanent office, it's got to have some benefits to it, paladin, anti-paladin specifically. But it's not about me; it's about you. Miranda would like to know what is your favorite part about being a knight in the game, and what is your least favorite part?
I don't know that I have a favorite part just because I don't see that my outlook on the game has changed that much.
Yep.
I'm lucky I remember to wear a white belt because it's in my amp card bag. It's the only one that's in there, so that's the only one I wear. I generally forget to wear a chain unless I'm really thinking about it or it's court and someone reminds me. So I don't know that there's really major perks that I'm like,
Okay.
woohoo, yay, I get to do this.
Right.
Again, I don't fight, so paladin, anti-paladin on the field, not a big thing for me.
Right. That's fair. What about least favorite part?
That white belt puts a big old target on you. Everyone looks at you a little harder when I don't know, it's like a mistake you may have made before your knight is like totally like, oh my God, as if getting knighthood is supposed to make you this ultimate can't ever do wrong person.
Sure.
You're still human. We're still dealing with that. So yeah, that big target is just not fun.
Okay. That's fair. Cassio would like to know, what were you thinking when the sunset came in on your knighting?
Probably, oh my God, don't fall.
That's fair.
Or don't mess up whatever part we were at, just because honestly, Ahira came to me with that ceremony day of. So we kind of planned the majority of my knighting, 30, 40 minutes before it happened.
Oh, okay.
So I was probably sitting there going, okay, what happens next? Oh my God, don't fall. What are you doing? Okay, getting up, standing up. You have to do this now.
Okay. It was a beautiful ceremony as a spectator of it. You know.
I loved it. I love the wording he came up with. It was amazing. We just hadn't, with all the planning for the event and the Circle of Monarchs meeting for him and everything going on, we hadn't actually gotten to sit down and talk about plans for it and what, he was going to say and how things were going to go up until, like I said, 30, 45 minutes before.
Okay. Kyle Bates. I'm not entirely sure who Kyle Bates is. Maybe you can help me with that.
Kyle Bates is Halaver out of West March, a fellow Corsair.
Hey, there we go. Do you plan on working towards any more belts?
I don't know if I'm actively working towards them. Let's see. Before we changed the way crown belt is awarded, that would have been my 4th crown point. But now I'm at 9 crowns, so I might do another thing, another reign as PM eventually.
At the kingdom level.
Yeah, kingdom level.
Yeah.
Well, Burning Lands is the kingdom seat, so it's always.
Well, yeah, right. Well, I want to get that out there for viewers who aren't aware that Burning Lands is always a kingdom seat, just so that they can get the idea. But awesome. Stillhat would like to know, do you have any advice for anyone who is trying to go down the flame path that wanted to be a flame knight?
Take your time. Do not do what I did. Honestly, take your time. Like I said, 2016, I was Hydrocrat. And 2017 is when Dojo got sick. And I was tapped by Kalyana and Dojo to take over the BOD presidency for Burning Lands, as well as to co-crat with Ruth. And from that time forward, I don't think there has been a time when I haven't been in office. of some
Sure.
sort, either as PM, as BOD president, as regent, as something. There hasn't really been a time when I haven't been in office. So slow down. Take your time. You don't have to do all the things all at once.
Right. Well, I mean, but that also coming from someone who is folding 4 positions at once, and you love your Excel
Yeah.
sheets.
I will say, Cassio, my woman at arms, said, "Ooh, this is goals." And I said, "Oh God, no. Do not try and do this. This is crazy. You will make yourself crazy trying to keep up with everything and you won't sleep." I think the weeks leading up to GOTC, I might sleep maybe 5 hours a night. You don't want that.
That's fair. I don't know if I necessarily sleep 5 hours the entire time at GOTC, but I get too excited. It's not good.
That's at GOTC. That's totally different. Event time is different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the 2 weeks leading up to it, the planning, getting ready, making sure you have everything, that I have everything in line, that everything's ready to go, that the truck is ready, that the food is bought, that everything's together. When you're only sleeping 5 hours, it's not good.
Nope. It's not. All right. So still also wanted to know, what do you look for in a potential night? What's that it factor?
I haven't sat in on a Circle of Nights meeting yet, so I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I will, I guess, in general, want to say someone who's working to better themselves and the club, that they're not, that they're not really going to be a horrible person to work with. I mean, if you're trying to get into the Circle of Nights, do you really, you want to work with people and not, chase them off and be mean and.
So I'll say it because it seems like don't be an asshole.
To quote King Tristan, don't be a dick.
There you go. Two sides of the same coin, almost the same exact thing. Tristan, I'm with you. Can you tell us about your belt line? Maybe who your knight is, how you got belted, who are your beltlings, who are your brothers and sisters?
I am under Sir Morlock the Merciless, first Sword Knight of Amgard, which is really funny because I don't fight. I got to know him through Altair and Brian, Altair and Sir Medeth. I got to know Morlock, and we just hit it off. And at one point, we were talking on the phone, and he just kind of threw out, "So, do you want to be my squire?" I was like, "Huh? Really?" And he said, "Yeah." And then he changed the subject and went on to something else. And I think the next time I talked to him, I was like, "Did you really mean that about me being your squire?" He's like, "Yeah. Do you want to?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He and I got along great. We could talk about anything, whether it was Amgard related or not. And so, yes, I really had a great connection with him. He took part of my knighting ceremony, releasing me from my squire duties.
Mm-hmm.
I have several from a long time ago, other squire siblings under him. I've talked to Shannon Arnold, known as Tyranny or Slain, and my squire brother, Trigger. He's out of the CK right now. And he and I get along great. We talk all the time too. And then under me, my underlings, I have two at arms. I have a Taunus and Cassio.
Anything you want to say about them specifically, or?
Thomas has been mistaken for my child many times.
Yeah.
Just because I guess how we interact and how we were always together. I was Thomas's ride to events sometimes, back and forth. We talk about music, what they're doing for their new instrument when they're learning something new, trying different things out. We've gone garb shopping. We've done all sorts of things together. We've gone out to eat a lot. Cassio is amazing. She has stepped up and she's been PM for the kingdom right now. She's also on the BOD, and she's the other ABOD rep for the Burning Lands. So she's well on her way.
Right. Okay. Still wanted to ask again, what do you look for in people when you bring them in to your belt line?
First thing is how well we get along. I like to hang out with my belt line. I like to do stuff with them. So we're definitely going to have to get along first. And just seeing where they want to go and if it's something I can help them with.
Awesome. What more do you want in a mentor relationship? Teach and help, and that's awesome. See, you were so concerned. You were so concerned when we started talking about you coming on KOK that you weren't going to be interesting.
I really don't think I'm that interesting. I really don't.
But 5, 6, 7, 8 people who know who I am are reaching out to me, going, "Hey, get her on KOK. Do that thing." And here we are. So you have a little baby category that's just before the funny questions called miscellaneous.
Okay.
This still hat person keeps coming up. They keep asking questions.
That's okay. I love still hat.
Well, apparently she loves you too. What is your favorite DS park, and why is it Cloud's Edge?
Because Cloud's Edge is a super fun park. Every time I've gone to Cloud's Edge, it's been the best time. It's been a great, whether I'm playing or not, whether, we get there early to hang out, whether it's one of their coronations or just a regular park day, it has always been one of the best times.
I'm gonna kind of pseudo edit. I'm gonna read the question as it is, but then maybe you and I will come to an agreement of how Manthax actually wants this answered. Sir Manthax wants to know the top 3 people you want to punch in the throat. So maybe the top 3 people that you want to shake a finger at very vigorously.
Manthax for asking the question.
Manthax. There you go.
Just because he asked the question. And actually,
you can name Manthax 3 times. That's fine.
I don't know that there's really any. Oh, wait, Sarah for not coming back yet.
Okay.
Sarah Garner, can we get back to AmpGuard, please? Soon. And I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can name 2 people.
So Manthax, Manthax twice. That's fine.
There you go.
He'll be the first one and the third one, so you can get a break in between. No problem. He's doing great work right now with his weight loss program. I'm super proud of him for that.
He's doing so awesome. He looks so great. Yeah.
So letting him have a little touchy question there, it's fine. Because he also rebounds with a really good question. And this is your opportunity to give a shout out to someone maybe we're not talking a lot about. Who's someone in AmpGuard that you admire, active or inactive?
Okay, there's several people that I admire. The one active person who I admire really the most right now is Kalyana. She is one of the people who got me really into the inner kingdom level of politics. Basically, she shoved me off the deep end and said, "Oh, look, you're doing this now." But she has always been supportive. She's a font of knowledge about everything I could possibly ask a question about. She's always had an answer. She's always been patient. She's an amazing artisan. I've been seeing a lot of her stuff. The chainmail bracelets and things that she's been doing are beautiful. She's an amazing cook. I've been to her house for a barbecue. That's amazing. If you have a chance, always go if Kellyanna invites you.
Okay. Not a problem. So you, Kalyana is an active. What about an inactive?
I don't know. And mainly, I guess part of it is I know 5 years isn't new to the game, but I think 5 years immersed as I have been in a certain level of the game, I haven't heard all the stories.
Sure. Sure.
But one who was inactive and is now becoming active again is Calliope. Original Burning Lander, Saracen, amazing friend. Love hanging out with her. We can sit and talk for like 8 hours and just go, "Oh God, it's been 8 hours," and not even realize it.
There it is. That's the best part of having the conversations. It's. I was going to mention when you said you haven't got the history. You need to come at next GOTC. Come sit in at Dame Manobili and Sir Francis's tent when we do like just the gathering. I grabbed the first year we had 12 essentially new players sitting in a half circle just listening to stories and telling stories. It was so good. And it was a big history pop too. So please.
I get stories. I get, but it's usually about people who are active. Nikolai will tell me, "Oh, back in, the 90s, we did this." Or Ahira and Tristan will tell me their version of this event. Obviously, being a Corsair, I get a lot of history from Medeth, from Zayax, from everyone who's been around for so long. But it's about their perspective. They're active. It's not like hearing these histories. And at GOTC, sitting in Sir Evan's tent, I pass by every so often, but it's usually when I'm doing security or I have to go do this over here and I had to pass by.
Well, maybe we'll just move the congregation to where you are at that point then, because yeah, it's super fun. It was at my first GOTC that happened, and it's something that I wanted to maintain as like a tradition of just like let's get in a half circle and tell stories and just be very happy with each other. So, but we'll find a way to get you involved. I promise.
Friday nights are usually my least busy nights.
Okay. All right. So that gets us down to the important questions for KOK viewers, and that's the funny questions. Morgan would like to know, what is a food that you will absolutely not eat?
Seafood.
Okay.
I do not like ocean bugs. And he should know this. We've had this discussion.
Well, that's fair. But again, Morgan asks these questions to add to the chuckles and less to the previous knowledge. He also had in there, why is it not bacon? So could you please give us a little bit of a, I don't know, diatribe on your love of bacon?
I do love bacon. That was honestly one of the best gifts I got. For my knighting at my vigil, Morgan brought me bacon.
Look at that. There it is.
He knew I was hungry. He brought me bacon. We sat there and talked and ate bacon. It was great. There is never a bad time for bacon. midnight bacon, breakfast bacon, middle of the afternoon. There's not a bad time for bacon.
There you go. I mean, that should be. We should put that on a banner somewhere. Never a bad time for bacon. Yeah.
Unless it's badly cooked bacon. If it's burnt bacon,
Well, Morgan would never make a bad cooked anything.
he would
So
not. He's a very good cook.
He's a very good cook. All right, Morgan, this guy keeps coming up. He would also like to know, what are your thoughts on kittens and murder mittens in general?
I'm allergic to house cats, so
Okay.
I'm not really around them very much. But like pictures of tigers with their big old giant paws and you just want to squish it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cassio would like to know, is it green or purple Jello?
It's never purple Jello. It's never orange Jello. Those are the two flavors of Jello I cannot stand.
Okay. And then, is it Everclear Jello shots?
Oh God, no, never, ever, ever clear. Never, ever, ever clear. I can do vodka Jello shots, but never, ever, ever clear.
Okay. Morgan, this is the question for the ages, realistically. What is the most expired item in your fridge currently?
I don't know. I kind of clean my fridge.
You didn't study for this?
I did not study for this because I thought I looked at some of the questions. I didn't look at all of them. And I knew if it was a question from Morgan, it was going to be very silly.
Fair.
It's not expired. I don't know.
Morgan, she doesn't have anything expired in her fridge. She takes care of her fridge. Come on.
I clean out the fridge kind of regular. I don't really
don't
have
know.
too much in there.
Okay. Morgan, you tried and you failed. There's nothing expired in her fridge. That's fine.
Granted, there's probably something wrapped in foil in a Ziploc bag in my freezer that I have no idea how long it's been there.
Well, the question wasn't asking about the freezer. So, Morgan, if you want that piece of information, you're going to have to reach out again. And I'll take my deep breath. Here we go. This is the last question, and it's from Kron, and it's the doozy. Question 1. Is it possible to write a Funky Fresh rap verse to Funky and Fresh for fans of the Funky and Fresh raps?
I'm sure it is probably possible, but not by me.
Okay, there you go. It's probably possible. Definitely maybe. Kron, at what point does being too funky and freshy cause one to suffer from illin like a villain? And is there a cure for said illin?
Oh, good Lord. This is what I get for not reading Kron's question. Can we rephrase the question?
I could reread it, but rephrasing it, no, I cannot.
Go ahead and reread it, because
okay.
Oh my gosh, Kron, really?
At what point does being too funky and fresh cause one to suffer from illin like a villain? And is there a cure for said illin?
I'm going to assume that you don't know that point until you've crossed it. And again, if there is a cure, I don't know of it.
Oh, good. I love it. Kron, keep bringing it. I got it. Last part of Kron's question. How funky and fresh do you consider yourself to be?
Funky, probably not at all.
Okay.
Fresh. In one sense, if I'm going for the absolute literal, I shower daily, so pretty fresh.
Okay.
But My children will tell you that no, I have no idea what's going on usually. Particularly with
Fantastic.
the music scene, I have no idea.
Well, Kron is tapping into something that's almost as old as your daughter. So, whatever. Anyways, Sir Bex, that is all the questions I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for coming on. I miss hanging out. I wish there was a way for that to happen, but unfortunately, the
No,
times we live in.
I can't wait to go back to when we can meet and go back and forth different parks. It's
Yeah,
always fun.
absolutely. Yeah. Uh, just do a couple of shout outs for the kingdom, for Dragonspine at least. We have a all thing vote that's going to be ending on the 20th at midnight. So please make sure that you're voting, your parks are aware. This would be on the non-men and women's tournaments for the Kingdom of Dragonspine, which is a big deal. So please go out and vote for that. Additionally, uh, we will have another amendment coming up for vote next month. So be aware of that as well. But Sir Bex, again, thank you so much for coming on. Viewers,
Thank you for making this relatively painless.
hey, I told you that this is gonna be a good time.
You did.
People wanted to hear from you. It is what it is. Next week on Kingdom of Kodiak, we have Sir Tristan from the Burning Lands. Until then, this has been Kingdom of Kodiak. I'm Kodiak. Goodbye.